if we assume, as they say, that it has just vanished, like it melted instantaneously, if it really melted instantaneously, yes, we can have the crashing case. We can have, so this is what we will assume. I'm going to assume the most optimistic cases in favor of the theory of the structural failure, or the official theory. So we will assume that one floor vanishes instantaneously, is this floor, and we'll start calculating what would happen with simple physics equations. The spacing between each floor is 3.8 meters. I will calculate the speed of this block when it hits the bottom, when it comes all the way to here. So this block, first we assume that this floor vanished instantly, and now this block is gonna accelerate down and smash into this here, what's below it. So now I'll calculate the velocity that it will be at when it hits the bottom. The equations are very simple, these ones. The straight line equations for constant acceleration. This is a high school physics book. So that's V is final velocity, U is initial velocity, A is the acceleration, and D is the distance. Now, first thing, we have to take a convention. We will take up as negative and down as positive. This is our convention, and we'll use that and we'll be consistent throughout the calculations. So now V squared equals U squared plus 2AD. We have the block at the beginning, initial velocity is 0. We substitute 0, and then V squared equals 2 by the acceleration. The acceleration will be the acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.8, and it will be downward, so it's positive 9.8, multiplied by the distance, which is the spacing between the floors, 3.8 meters. V squared is 74.48, and therefore V is 8.63 meters per second. This is the velocity at which the top block will crash into the bottom. This so far hasn't been encountering any resistance except for the air resistance, and we ignored the air resistance. But as soon as it hits the building, it will encounter resistance from the structural skeleton that's existing here, which is untouched and strong. So therefore this block will experience a resistance force from this existing structure below it. Now, how big is this resisting force is what we will try to determine. So I'm going to draw the resisting force with red. This resisting force will be at least as big as the weight of this block, at least. And this is obviously another extremely optimistic assumption in favor of the official theory. So now we will calculate how big this force will be. I'll take a free body diagram on this block. The only force acting downwards on this block is its weight, which is mg. And the resistance force acting on it is at least the mg, because it has always been supporting this. This structure has always been supporting this block in the past 30 years, so it will offer an average force of at least the same amount or the same size as the weight, plus, so the resistance force will be mg plus, and the building was evacuated at the time of the incident, so it's designed to carry the weight of the people as well. So that's 123 people for each floor, 15 floors, and about 84 kilograms for each person by 9.8. So this is the humans, this is the weight, plus the humans, plus the safety factors. Because whenever they design a building, they don't design it just on the edge. Because let's say some people were watching a soccer or football match, and someone scored a goal and all the people jumped at once. If they've designed it right on the edge, it will collapse, and therefore the minimum resisting force will be the mass plus the humans plus the safety factors. Now again, I'll be optimistic and I'll ignore the safety factors. Let's assume that they did not have any safety factors, and we'll just take the humans weight. So we have a block here, we have mg newtons downwards and mg plus the humans weight newtons upwards. So will we have an acceleration downwards or a deceleration? That's the big question. Will this block accelerate downwards or will it slow down? The answer is obviously it should slow down. So the speed of the block should never exceed 8.63 meters per second. We obtained that by assuming that the floor here just vanished and there was no air resistance and the block just accelerated full blast until it reached the bottom structure. That would give us 8.63 meters per second. Then it started collapsing the building below it and crushing it as it's going. So in this case, it will be faced with resistance from the structure of the building, and this amount of force will be at least the same or bigger than the weight of the block, because throughout its history it has been holding this block. So even if it's gained some speed to be able to crush something from the inertia, it still would be slowing down, not speeding up. So I'll do it mathematically and you'll see sum of the forces in the vertical direction equals ma. That's Newton's second law of motion.